Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. This is my fourth lecture with you people, and I hope that you are progressing well with this subject of operations management as well as with this degree with the ComSET Institute of Information Technology. Let's have a brief recap of the topics which we have discussed in the last lecture. In the last lecture, we discussed about the competitiveness. Now, what is competitiveness? That is how a particular organization is performing differently in order to better serve the needs of their customers. That is actually the competitive advantage, and all the organizations, are interested in creating this sort of competitive advantage for their organizations. Then we discussed some very important dimensions of competitiveness. We discussed about price, that how the reduced price at a particular level of quality which can better satisfy the customers can have a competitive advantage for the organization. Then we discussed about the quality. Quality itself is a very important source of competitive advantage, and we will discuss quality and how we can manage the quality in this lecture in detail. Then we discussed about the flexibility of the operations, that if the operations of the organizations are flexible, flexible means how quickly they can respond to the environmental changes and to the changes of their customers. That flexibility can be a very source of competitive advantage. Then we discussed about some other important dimension, that is the human resource, that is the workers of the organization, and we discussed that the human resources or the employees of the organization are the very important source of competitive advantage, because their expertise, their experience, their knowledge cannot be easily copied by their competitors. Then students, we discussed some very important concepts like what is policy, and we defined that policy is a sort of general guideline which helps us to make particular decisions, and rules defines the do's and don'ts within the organization, and that are always very specific in nature. Then we discussed about procedures, that procedure is the step-by-step way of achieving a particular task which involves chronological steps, that are the steps which are to be undertaken step by step. Then we discussed about the strategy, that how the strategy helps us to deploy the different organizational resources across the different entities of the organization in order to achieve the mission and the basic purpose of the organization. Then again, most importantly, we discussed the different important components of strategy, that if some operation managers or some strategic managers are interested to define a sort of strategy, then what are the important steps and what are the important components they should consider in order to have a good strategy which can have the direct impact on the organizational working as well as on the organizational performance. We discussed about scope, that whenever you are going to define a strategy, you should have defined the scope, that at what level you are making the strategy, whether it's the corporate level or it's the business level or it's the operational level. Then we also discussed that there are some other levels of strategy, like individual level, that is we define a strategy for some particular individuals or some particular intellectuals for the organization. Then we can also have a global strategy, that is the strategy for the different units of organization or the outlets or the different branches all over the world or all over the globe. The second important component we talked about, that was the competitive advantage, that how the strategy helps us to attain the competitive advantage. Then again, when we talk about the competitive advantage, the operations managers or the strategic managers or the general managers should always keep in mind that what is the sustainability of the competitive advantage. And most importantly, we discussed about 4 important sources of competitive advantage, that is the technology, then management style, then organizational processes and operations, and last we discussed about the human resources, and we discussed that human resources are considered most important and sustainable competitive advantage for any organization. Then we also talked about the deployment of resources or the allocation of resources, that how the organizational resources should be efficiently and effectively allocated across the different departments and the products and the product units and the functions in order to achieve the organizational objectives in a better way. So we discussed about these very important elements of strategy. Then we talked about the differentiation, okay, how the differentiation and flexibility and quality and the other dimensions can be helpful in creating the competitive advantage for the organization. And then we discussed some strategic OM decisions like design of goods and services, like location strategies, like layout strategies and some other strategies, that how we can define the different strategies and which can be helpful in order to take the particular operations management decisions, and how these strategies will be helpful in achieving the differentiation or the cost leadership or some other competitive advantage for the organization. Then finally we discussed about the operation strategy, that no doubt it is the functional level strategy, but we should also consider that how a particular strategy, whether it's the operational strategy or any other strategy, should have a sort of synergy within the organization, and how it can have the vertical fit and the horizontal fit within the organization. And combinedly we discussed about the strategic fit, that is the horizontal fit plus vertical fit. Now if a good strategy or the operation strategy is able to have this sort of alignment or the collaboration or linkage among the different other departments, then of course we can have the horizontal fit of that strategic fit. Then again, if that operation strategy is well aligned and well collaborated with the overall organizational objectives and the overall organizational strategy, then we can better have that vertical fit. So it is very important for us strategy formulation and development that we should have this sort of synergy through strategic fit for the organization. So these are some very important topics we discussed in the last lecture. Let's come to our today's lecture, that is about quality. Again, I told you in the last lecture that I will deliver 3 lectures about this particular topic, that is managing quality. In today's lecture, we will discuss about the quality, that is what is quality, how we can define the quality, and what are the basic quality functions, that what are the different factors which can help in improving or enhancing the quality environment within the organization. Then what is the quality assessment criteria? We will discuss about the different criteria, that how we can assess the quality. Then we will also discuss some important principles, dimensions of quality. Then what is the relationship between quality and strategy, and of course in the last class we discussed about the strategy, and we say that quality is very importantly related to the strategy, and quality can be played a very important role in defining a very good strategy in order to have the competitive advantage over our rivals. So we discussed about the quality and strategy. Then the implications of the quality. We will talk about that what is the long-term impact of maintaining and assuring a quality environment within the organization. Then again, 3 very important concepts we will talk about in this lecture, that is quality control, quality assurance, and finally the quality management. Another very important concept about quality is the cost of quality, that if we are not maintaining the quality within the organization, then what cost the organization should have to be bear in future in order to not have the quality products and services. Then we will discuss about some good leaders, international leaders, who have some strategic contributions about that quality and its management. Then of course quality has also have a sort of strategic impact. So whenever we talk about the quality and we are talk about the long-term viability, we should also talk about the ethics and the quality management ethics. Then we will also discuss some international quality standards like ISO 9000, ISO 14000, and how these organizations help the different organizations in order to maintain the particular quality in the particular organizations in the international scenario. So this is a brief outline and the important topics which we will discuss in today's lecture. Okay, let's start our lecture. Okay, what are the important objectives you will have and you will learn about after you go through this particular lecture? You will be again able to define the quality and its dimensions. You will have the idea that how we can have the different criteria to assess quality. Then you can have the idea that how we can implement the quality in order to have the strategic impact over the organization's viability. Then again, what is the impact of cost of quality? What is the impact if you are not maintaining the quality within the organization? Then again, you should be able to know about the different ISO, that is the International Standard Quality Organizations. Okay, productivity, cost of operations and quality all contribute to profitability. In the very first lecture and in the previous lectures, we again discussed that one of the primary objectives of any business organization is the profitability. And what are the most indicators, or what are the most approaches which can help us in maximizing the profitability for the organizations is the productivity, cost of operations, that is minimization of the cost of operations, and then the quality. So quality is also one of the approach and one of the concepts which can help us in enhancing the long-term profitability of the organization. Most important determinant of company's long-term success or failure is quality. So important is the quality. So let's discuss about what is quality. Sometimes we define the quality as the totality of characteristics of an entity that bear on its ability to satisfy stated and employed needs. Now, what is the quality? Quality, if we talk about the quality products and services, then mostly we talk about the different features of product or the services. Then we talk about the functionality of a particular product. Then we talked about the consistency, that how consistently a particular product or the service is being performed by the organizations. Then we also talked about the conformance to the standards. That is, if a product is meeting the particular predetermined standard within the organization, then that will be the quality product. And if it is not meeting the standards or the predetermined standards, that will not be a quality product. So what actually is the quality? It has so many dimensions, it has so many characteristics, and we cannot have actually single definition of quality. So then how we can define the quality? It is always better to define the quality by linking it to the customers, because why we are producing our goods and services? We are producing all of these goods and services for our customers. So sometimes we define the quality, that quality is something if we are able to meet or exceed our customer satisfaction. So what is quality? That is meeting or exceeding the customer satisfaction. So no doubt, if the organization has a product which is a very excellent product and highly performed product, lower price product, but that is not being acceptable by the customers, so that will not be a quality product. So that's why this is the best definition of quality, that we link it to the customer needs, that if our product is satisfying or exceeding the satisfaction of our customers, that is the quality product. So of course these products must have the different characteristics and must have the different features in it. We will discuss one by one what are the different dimensions and what are the important characteristics of these quality products and the services. Okay, let's talk about the basic quality functions, that what are the important determinants which can help us in improve the quality. The first one is the defects and rejects. If you are able to reduce the defects and rejects for our products in the organizational settings, and by managing our operations in the effective and efficient manner, then of course there will be an increased quality. We can say that quality has been increased. So quality is actually inversely proportional to defects and rejects. If there will be less defects, there will be more quality. If there are more defects and rejection of the products, then we are not having the quality. So the defects are very important function of quality. Now let's take an example. Suppose you buy a shoes from some company, and that shoe is meeting all the requirements that fit your feet, and everything is okay. But when you purchased these shoes and you use them for a week or more, then later you found that your fingers are being injured because of some defect in those shoes. So again, you will go to the company and you may return that shoes because that has a defect. So no doubt that particular product is meeting the predetermined standards or the requirements. But if you are not able to being satisfied with that particular product, that is not a quality product. So if there are less defects, then it means we are having the quality in a particular product and service. Then complaints, again, quality is inversely proportional to the complaints. If we have less complaints for our products and services, then it means we are having the quality products and services. If you are having more complaints or products and services, then of course we are not providing the good product or the quality product and services to our customers. The next important function of quality, or the determinant of quality, is the consistency. Now this consistency is very important. Consistency is the reliability, that how much consistently your product is being performed and satisfying your customer needs. So consistency is sometimes referred as the mother of quality. If you are able to provide the consistent products and services and the consistent quality to our products, then of course we can have idea that we are providing the quality products and services to our customers. So important is the consistency, that there should be the consistency in the production facilities and in the production of the goods and the services. There should be the consistency in the service delivery to our customers. Then there should be the consistency in the final products and their performance. So if we are able to achieve this level of consistency, we are of course providing the quality products and services. If that consistency is not there, the quality products is not there. Next important is the precision. Now precision is the degree to which a particular product conforms to the predetermined standards. Now if we are able to produce a product which is meeting the particular standards or the predetermined requirements, then we are making the quality products. If that is not meeting the standards, of course the precision will not be there, and we are not being able to provide the goods products and services to our customers. Next is the accuracy, that is related to the quality, that how better output we are producing for our customers, which can better satisfy the customers. So precision and accuracy is related to the effectiveness and efficiency, and again the quality of the products and services. Okay, the last important function and the most important function is the variation. Now variation, again, as we say, I said that consistency is the mother of quality. So variation is the enemy of quality. Whenever there is a variation in the product performance, in the service delivery performance, then we say that we are not providing the quality products and services to our customers. So a good quality managers and the strategic managers or the operation managers are always interested to have the least variation in the production of their products and services, so that they are able to provide the better products and the quality products to their customers. Because whenever there is a variation in the products and the services, we may have the scrap, or we may have to rework over our products, and of course the cost of the scrap and the cost of rework in order to reproduce the product will add the overall cost. So this is very important aspect of variation, that whenever there is a variation in the performance or in any aspect of product and services, we will have to do the rework, and of course that work will increase the overall cost for the organization, which should always be avoided by the operations managers, by the production managers, and most importantly by the strategic managers. So these are very important functions which are helpful for the different organizations, that how we can have the idea that whether we are providing the quality products and services to our customers or not. Now let's talk about the criteria through which we can assess the quality of our products and services, whether we are providing the quality products or services to our customers or not. One important criteria is the judgmental criteria. That is actually the qualitative sort of criteria in which the managers or some other entities are able to judge that on the basis of their observation or the experience that whether it is a quality product or not. So that is the judgmental criteria that is based on some intuition or some observation or some experience, and most of the organizations and sometimes the managers are not interested in this sort of criteria because of not its measurability. It is very difficult to measure the different aspects of the quality if you are using the judgmental criteria of assessing the quality. So that criteria has the least importance for most of the managers sometimes. Next important criteria for assessing the quality is the product-based criteria. Now, product-based criteria is the criteria which tells us that what are the different characteristics, what are the different attributes, and what are the different features which are being added to our product, so that we'll have the idea that it is a quality product or not. So the product-based criteria helps us in counting and in assessing the different features of the products in order to assess the quality of the products. Next important criteria of assessing the quality is the manufacturing-based criteria. Now, what is the manufacturing-based criteria? Manufacturing-based criteria is the criteria in which the most quality managers or the operational managers see that whether a particular product or services is meeting the particular standards or the predetermined standards for that particular product or service. If that is meeting the standards, we can assess that we are having the quality products, and if it is not conforming to the standards, then it means we are not having the quality products. So that is another very important criteria through which we can have the idea that how we can measure the quality. The next important criteria to assess the quality is the value-based criteria. Now, what is meant by value? Value is the actually trade-off between price and the quality. By trading off this price and the quality aspects of our products and the services, we can have the idea that is whether we are providing the quality products or not. Now, what is this trade-off? If we are able to provide our customers a quality products or the acceptable products at the reasonable price or the most acceptable price, then it means we are providing the good products and services to our customers, and we are providing the quality products. So value-based criteria is based on the trade-off between the price and the quality about the assessment of the quality for a particular product or service. Okay, let's talk about the different dimensions of quality. That is the principal quality dimensions. The first important dimension of the quality is performance. Now again, performance may have so many concepts, and but mostly we talk about the operability of a particular products and services when we talk about the performance. Another important dimension is the features, that how much features are being added to a particular product, so that can increase the worth of that particular product. Next one is the reliability. We just discussed about the consistency. So reliability is the same as that of the consistency. If you are able to give the consistent or the reliable performance through the production of our products and services, then it means we are giving the quality products. Then fourth important dimension is the conformance. Now conformance means that how much we are able to conform to the standards, to the pre-established standards for a particular product or service. Next one is the durability. Durability is related to the long lastingness, that is how long you will be able to use a particular product, what is the time period of usage of that product. If that time period is long, that means that you are having a durable product. Then again, serviceability is another very important aspect about quality. If you are able to timely deliver your products and services to your customers, then it means you are providing the quality to your customers and other entities of the organizations. Then comes the aesthetics. Aesthetics is related to that how your products look like, whether it is acceptable on the face of it or not. So that is related to the aesthetics. Then next comes the perceived quality, that how your quality is being perceived by your customers. The same level of quality may be perceived differently by different customers due to the different reasons. We will just discuss about this perceived quality. Now, let's discuss in detail about these important dimensions of quality. Performance, that is the primary operating characteristics. So this is related to operability of a product or service in order to serve the customers. Now let's take the example of a car. A car's acceleration, braking distance, steering and handling. Now all these aspects are related to the performance, that whether when you are going to press the accelerator, how much speed is there for the car. So that determines the performance. Then what is the braking distance? Braking distance means when you apply the brakes, then after what distance your car will be stopped. Now lesser will be the distance, the more will be the performance for that particular car. Then steering and handling. If some company is providing the automation for that steering and handling, and you may not press some sort of thing, or you may not put some load on the steering and the handling, then it means that is performing well. So that is the different aspects related to performance. Next come the features. Features are usually termed as the bells and the whistles of a product. Now what are the bells and the whistles? These are actually the non-essential features which are attached to a product. In every product there are some essential features without which the product may not work. But if we are able to provide some extra features with our products, then that may be termed as the bells and the whistles for a particular product. For example, a car may have the power options and a tape or CD deck, then anti-lock brakes, then reclining seats. If that seats are being able to recline, that may give a sort of comfort to the customers. So all these things are related to the features. The more the features you are being able to add in your products, the more quality a particular product will have. Next comes the reliability. Reliability is the probability of a product's consistent performance. Now, if a product is giving the consistent performance, it means that is reliable, and that is the quality product. Let's suppose you go to the different bank and you want to cash your check, and first time it takes about 5 minutes, then the next month you go, it takes 25 minutes, then third time you go, after 3 months it may take 15 minutes. It means there is no consistency in the service provision of that particular bank. So all the organizations and managers are always try to have this sort of consistency and in their performance with respect to their products and services. So if we are able to give the reliability and the consistent results with our products and services to our customers, then it means that we are providing the quality products to our customers. Again comes the conformance. What is conformance? It is the degree to which the physical and the performance characteristics of a product match some predetermined standards. Now, if a particular product is meeting the particular requirements or the particular standards, then it means that is the quality product. And suppose, but it is not always true that a product is conforming to the particular standards, and even then your customer may not be satisfied with that. Now what is meant by that? It is meant that there are so many aspects of quality, and we are discussing some of them here, and it is always important for the managers to find out that what is actually being required by their customers. So sometimes let's take the example of an AC. Suppose you bought an AC, and that AC is providing you the that is performing well by reducing the temperature, but suppose there is a noise there in that AC, so that will be not creating a sort of comfort for the customers. So no doubt that particular AC is meeting the standards, meeting the pre-established requirements, but that is not being acceptable to some of the customers because of that noise. So as a quality manager or as the operation managers, we should always consider all of these aspects of quality, that we should have the combination of these features and the dimensions so that we can better satisfy the customers through all of these dimensions. Next is the durability. Durability is related to the long termness, that is the long lastingness. उर्दू में इसे अगर हम कहेंगे तो ये होता है देर पा. अगर आपका प्रोडक्ट जो है दैट इज देर पा ज़्यादा अरसे तक चलेगा तो दैट इज सेट टू बी द ड्यूरेबल प्रोडक्ट. So it is the amount of use one gets from a product before it physically deteriorates or until the replacement is preferable. So the longer period your product will serve your needs, that will be durable. If it is not being served for a particular time period, that will not be set as a durable product. So that is another very important aspect of quality. Next comes the serviceability. Now, when we talk about the serviceability, then there are the different aspects of serviceability. One aspect is the in-time delivery of your products to your customers. If you are providing this in-time service to your customers, then it means you are providing the quality required by your customers. Then when we discuss about the serviceability, we should talk about the speed of service, that how quickly we are responding to our customer needs, how quickly we are providing after sale service with our products. Then we should talk about the courtesy and the competency of the repair work. If some repair work is required by some customers, then the organization should have the relevant competency to serve the customers. So these are very important aspects of serviceability. And in Pakistan, most of the customers are being suffered with that courtesy and the speed of the provision of service. So in all these, it is very important for the different organizations to provide the comfort, to provide the courtesy, and to provide the in-time service to their customers. This is another very important aspect of quality. Then comes the aesthetics. How a product looks, feels, sounds, tastes or smells. So that is related to the aesthetics. Suppose कि आप किसी अगर wall पे black color का paint कर देते हैं, तो that may not be acceptable to you, and it means the aesthetics plays a very important role in meeting the customer needs, and that aesthetics plays very important role, in the different aspects. Suppose you are working in some organizational environment and you are working in some particular office, and your office is designed in a way that looks well to you, having the different well arranged furnitures, proper lighting is there. So that is providing the aesthetics actually. So it will automatically improve your performance. So important is the aspect of aesthetics in the different fields of management. So these aesthetics should be such that they should be able to please our customers. Then next comes the perceived quality. Now this is a very important concept related to the quality, because the same level of quality may be perceived differently by the different persons. The level of quality varies, from person to person. Suppose कि अगर एक आपका कस्टमर जो है किसी विलेज में रह रहा है या किसी देहात में रह रहा है, उसकी जो perception होगी about the quality will be different from a customer who is living in a city like Islamabad. So this perception depends on so many factors, like the location of your customers, then the ability of your customer, and most importantly the knowledge of your customer. So this perception is very mostly from customer to customer, and the managers should have to be vigilant that how your products and services are being perceived by your customers. So it is the subjective assessment of the quality resulting from the image, advertising or brand names. Suppose there is a lot of advertising which is being made by your organization about the particular products and services, so that may change the perception of quality in the eyes of the customers. So again, as I said, that this perceived quality or this perception about quality depends on so many factors, and the organization should be very careful that how this quality is being perceived by their customers, and accordingly they should define a sort of strategy in order to again better satisfy our bosses. And who are our bosses? Customers are bosses. We usually say in marketing that boss is not your boss, but your customer is your boss. So we just discussed about the very important dimensions of quality which can help us that how we can have a good quality products and services within our organizations. Now let's talk about the interrelationship of quality and strategy. Managing the quality supports differentiation, low cost and response strategies. In the last class, you must remember that we talked about that by using the different strategies, how we can have the competitive edge over our customers. And we discussed about that we can have the different products and services which are different with respect to the competitors, and which can better and differently satisfy the needs of the customers. So we can have a better competitive advantage through it. Then we can have the lower cost for our products due to any advantage like location advantage, due to the economies of scale advantage, or due to the availability of the some good human resources advantage. So we can have the low cost advantage in order to have the certain competitive advantage over the competitors. So managing quality supports in attaining all of this. Quality is so important that if you are able to maintaining the quality for your products and services, it can always help us to differentiate our products and services with respect to the competitors, having the lower cost, and then again having the good response in the form of quick serviceability to our customers. Again, we just discussed the different dimensions of quality, and we also discussed that quick responsibility and quick response to our customer requirements in the form of the service requirements is again a very important dimension of quality, which can help us to create the source of competitive advantage. So that is the linkage between quality and this strategy. Then again, quality helps the firms increase sales and reduce cost. If you are able to maintain the quality, then of course your customer will be better satisfied and your sales of the products will be increased, and again your cost will decrease. Now how the cost will be decreased? Because if you are maintaining the particular level of the quality, then there will be less rework, and you can save that sort of cost which may be incurred in the reproduction of those products and services. So in that sense, quality always helps us to reduce the cost. Then building a quality organization is a demanding task. Now that is being being required by most of the organization to have a certain quality organization. Now what are the two ways we can improve the profitability through the quality? One is the sale gains via improved response. That is again a very important dimension of quality. Then flexible pricing. We just discussed that if you are able to maintain a particular acceptable quality at a particular price which is most acceptable to our customers, then of course that will help us to increase the sales, and this particular aspect will again indirectly have the impact on the profitability of the organization. Then next comes the improved reputation. Through the better quality, there will be better reputation of your products in the society, and that will help us to improve the sales and ultimately the enhancement of the profitability aspect of organization. Then again, a very important aspect of quality, that it helps us to reduce the cost. Now how we can reduce the cost? Through the increased productivity. Quality always helps us to increase the productivity. So if we are able to maintain the quality, the productivity will be increased, the cost will be decreased, and ultimately the profit will be improved. Next comes the lower rework and scrap cost. If you are able to have the lower work and scrap, then we are actually able to minimize the cost of the production of our goods and services. So ultimately the profit will be increased. Lower warranty cost. If suppose your customer sends you back the product which is under warranty, so you'll have to either rework on that product, or you'll have to provide a new product to your customer in order to fulfill that warranty requirements. So that additional cost will be involved. So if you are able to maintain a particular quality standards, then we can avoid this lower warranty cost, and ultimately it will help us to increase the profitability for our organization. So important is the quality, and so important is impact to the profitability, and always all the organizations should have the proper concentration to maintain a quality environment within the organization. Now what are the implementations and implications of quality? It may help us to increase the company reputation through the better perception before the eyes of your customers, and after the provision of quality and the new products to your customers and services, then again it helps us to improve the productivity, and ultimately it can help us to improve the profitability. Then there can be the good employment practices within the organization. If you have or your organization has some quality environment, then the working relationship between the different employees will also be improved through that better quality environment. Then you can have the better supplier relations. If your you have a good relation with your suppliers and they are providing the quality raw materials to you, and that will be helpful for any organization to have the final quality products and services. So this quality environment also help us to have a good relationship with all of our stakeholders. These may be the employees and these may be the suppliers of the organization. Then we can always be able to reduce the product liability in the form of reduced risk. Now, how we can reduce the risk? We can reduce the risk of reworkability, we can reduce the risk of scrap, we can reduce the risk of cost in the form of warranty cost. So quality always help us to reduce the risk in the form of product liability. Then of course the quality help us to compete with our rivals, and it helps us to have a sort of competitive advantage with respect to our rivals. Now there are some very important concepts about quality. The first concept is the quality control. Now we discussed at some time that what is controlling, and we defined that controlling is actually the process of finding out the difference, that what actually is the deviation between the actual performance and the desired performance, and how we can take the better corrective actions in order to reduce this deviation. So that is the quality, that is the controlling. And what is the quality control? Quality control includes the efforts to ensure the quality through the inspection by acceptance or rejection. So quality control is nothing but the conformance or finding out the difference, that what is the deviation between the quality products and the non-quality products, and whether it should be acceptable or not. Now, how it is made possible by the organizations, that is through the inspection. Through the inspection, we can have the idea that some product is acceptable or not. If that is not acceptable, of course, we will have to reproduce our products, and that may occur the extra cost. So the review quality of all the factors involved in the production is actually the quality control. Next important concept about quality is quality assurance. Now, what is quality assurance? It includes all the planned and systematic activities implemented within the quality system and demonstrated as needed to provide the adequate confidence that an entity will fulfill the requirements for quality. Now, what is quality assurance? It is the confidence level your organizational managers have that you are producing the quality products and services. Now again, when we talk about the operations, there are the inputs, there is some transformation process, then which is known as conversion process, and finally the final products and services. Now, if we have some quality checks at the different stages, right from the acquiring the raw material, and most importantly at the different stages of that transformation process. So if we have a sort of quality checks, that quality is being checked at each of these stages one by one. So at the end, when the final products and services are being produced, we may be assured that these are the quality products. So that is the concept behind quality assurance. That is the confidence level of some operation managers that you are providing the quality products to your customers. Now, how we can have this confidence level? By applying the different quality checks at the different stages of production of the goods and services. So this is about the quality assurance. Next is the quality management. Now, quality management, now this is the definition of international standard of organization, that includes all the activities of the overall management function that determine the quality policy and objectives and responsibilities, and implement planning, quality control, quality assurance, and quality improvement aspects within the quality system. So what is the quality management? That is a sort of circle in which we apply the different quality checks like quality control, like quality assurance, like quality maintenance. So all these quality related aspects are integrated into that circle of quality management. So quality management is that whole of thing, in which quality control aspects, quality assurance aspects, inspection aspects, and the other aspects of the quality are included. So it includes all the activities which are related to managing the quality, like quality policy, objectives, responsibility of the quality, and lot of other things. So that is the quality management. Okay, class. Next comes the cost of quality. Another very important concept regarding managing the quality is cost of quality. Now, what is the cost of quality? Quality is measured by the cost of quality, which is the expense of non-conformance. That is the cost of doing things wrong. So actually, one of the way to measure quality is to determine the cost of quality. That if you are the concept of cost of quality is that if you are not being able to provide the quality products to our customers, then what cost will have to be incurred? That is the cost of doing things wrong, and that is the expense of non-conformance. That is the cost which the organization will have to have incurred if they are not providing the quality products to their customers. So that is the concept of cost of quality, but we will discuss this concept in more detail because of its importance and because of its long-term impact on organization, So cost of quality. What are the important components of cost of quality? This cost of quality can have the two important components. One is the controlling cost, the other one is the failure cost. Now, controlling cost is also referred as conformance cost. Now, what is the concept behind controlling cost or conformance cost? That is the cost of assuring that your product is conforming to the particular pre-established standards. So that is about the cost of control and the conformance cost. Now, this conformance cost further have the two other components, which is termed as prevention cost and appraisal cost. Now, let's discuss or have the idea about prevention cost. Now, prevention cost is a cost which incurred when we are going to assure that the defective products will not be made by the organization in the future. Now, this is actually the cost of training and the cost of planning. That if we are providing a particular training to our managers and our workers, so that they will be able to have the idea that how they can better maintain the quality for their products and services, then the cost incurred for that particular training is termed as prevention cost. That is the cost to prevent the defective products within the organization. So this is the concept behind that prevention cost. Now, another important concept of that cost of quality is appraisal. Now, what is the appraisal cost? Appraisal cost is that sometimes in order to assure that the organization is able to have the quality products or services, they will have the inspection department. Now, that inspection department will inspect it through the different tests and by using the different machines, that whether the product is having the required quality or not. So that cost of inspection is usually referred to as appraisal cost. So that is about the prevention cost and the appraisal cost, and these are the components of cost of control or the conformance cost. Another important component of that cost of quality or the total cost of quality is the failure cost or the non-conformance cost. Now, what is the failure cost? It has further two components, that is the internal failure cost and the other one is the external failure cost. Internal cost is the cost which is being occurred in the form of rework and in the form of scrap. Now, suppose some products and services are being ready in the organization. Most importantly, the products. We are talking about the products. Now, the organization finds out that these are not the quality products through the inspection or some other examination. If they are able to find out that there is a defect in the product, but at this stage of time, we have not delivered that product to our customers. Please keep in mind. So before the delivery, if the organization is able to find out that there are the defects in the products, then of course they will have to rework and they will have to redesign their products in order to provide the required products to the customers. Then the cost incurred in that reworking is termed as internal failure cost. Now again, this is the cost before the delivery of the products to the final customers. Another aspect of that non-conformance cost is the external failure cost. Now what is the external failure cost? This is the cost incurred after the delivery of the products to the final customers. Now suppose you have examined your products and you have delivered your products to the customers, but the customers has found that there is some defect in your product. He will of course return your product, and you will have to again reproduce your product in this particular case. So the cost of producing the product at this stage after getting the product back from your customers is termed as external failure cost. So this is a general idea that what is about the cost of quality and how many components are there in the cost of quality and how actually we can calculate the cost of quality. And if we want to calculate the cost of quality, then that will actually be the sum of all of these costs. So this is the basic concept about cost of quality. Let's discuss this concept in more detail. The first one, again, as we discussed, that is the prevention cost. Now this prevention cost covers avoiding the defects like planning. If the organization have a certain planning stages, or they have defined certain planning in order to avoid the defective products within the organization in the form of quality training provision to their workers or in the form of the quality circles, then that cost is termed as prevention cost. What are the quality circles? Now quality circle is a very important concept related to quality, that in most of the organizations the management of the quality responsibility is being assigned to a group of different workers and different employees whose main responsibility is to maintain the quality within the organization, and this group of people again is being empowered to take the particular decisions so that they can have the better quality for their products and services. So this concept is usually termed as quality circles. So the cost incurred in the form of training, in the form of prevention measures, in the form of training or planning, that is termed as the prevention cost. Next is the appraisal cost. Now this is the cost which covers finding the defects by the inspection, by the quality audit, or by the quality testing and measurement. So after you arrange the inspection, and for that particular inspection there will be a cost incurred, so that cost is referred to as appraisal cost. Internal failure cost, again, the cost incurred prior to the shipment of the product to the or the delivery of the service. Now this is the cost incurred before the delivery to the final products. These costs are associated with the defects that are found prior to the customer delivery, and it covers scrap cost, rework cost, or redesigning cost. So this is about the internal failure cost. Next is the external failure cost. These are the costs of discovered defects after the product shipment or service delivery. Now you have shipped your product to the final customers, and that is being delivered back to the organization because of some defects, and by using a particular warranty facility, then the cost incurred in that particular aspect is referred to as external failure cost. Now it covers cost borne by the customer, such as warranty cost, administrative cost in dealing with the failure and the loss of goodwill. Now again, that may have the long-term impact in the form of loss of goodwill in the mind of the customers if you are not being able to deliver the quality products and services to your customers. So again, in this particular aspect of cost of quality, all the managers are interested to build the product right at the first time. If they are being able to build the product right at the first time, then the cost of quality, the overall cost of quality will be improved. But if they are not being able to build the product at the first instance, then of course the cost of quality will be increased. Then appraisal cost is again related with inspection and testing. Internal failure cost, and we have talked about this internal failure cost and external failure cost. And so the total cost is in combination of that prevention cost, appraisal cost, internal failure cost, as well as the external failure cost. No, there is a very important aspect about its cost of quality, that all the organizations are always interested to have the preventive measures in order to maintain the quality right at the first instance. We just discussed about that. So if the company's quality management system is designed, planned, or organized for defect prevention and continuous quality improvement, then there will be less cost incurred in that particular case. But if the company is not being able to maintain the quality at the first instance, then they will have to bear more cost in the form of inspection, and even more cost in the form of that defects which are being discovered before delivery or after the delivery to the final customers. So it is very important to note here that all the organizations and the quality managers and the operation managers, most importantly, should always have the due consideration in order to have that preventive measures in order to maintain the quality within the organization. Now let's take another example. Now suppose this is the quality here, and if we are putting some weight at this point of this line, then we are better able to lift the quality. Now this is a very important aspect, that is about the prevention, that if you are able to prevent the defective products at the first stage, then we and the organization will be able to have the more leverage in improving the quality. But if we are not able to have the particular measures at this stage, and we are then arrange the inspection in order to correct the products in the form of rework, then this will not have the enough leverage in the form of in lifting the quality. So this is a very important aspect that we will have to have the due consideration at the prevention stage. We should always try to prevent the defective products so that we can better maintain the quality at the affordable cost. So this is a very important concept about cost of quality. Now there are some important famous world leaders about the quality. You have the certain contributions related to quality. One is the Deming. He has offered 14 very important points that how we can manage the quality and how we can have the quality environment within the organization. In the next lecture we will discuss these points in detail. The next one is the Juran, who is considered again as the quality guru, who gives the concept of total top management commitment, fitness for use. Then again, next one is the Feigenbaum, who has the contribution towards that total quality control. We have already discussed that important concept of quality control. Then again, Crosby discussed and give us the idea about zero defects, that how we can have the zero defects by applying the different aspects of quality in order to better manage the quality of our products and services. So these are some very important names with respect to that quality management. Now another very important aspect of quality is the ethics. What are the ethics? Operations managers must deliver the healthy, safe, quality products and services. Now this is not just the only responsibility of the operation managers to give the quality products to their customers, but they should also provide the environmental free products, which we usually call the green products. So another long-term aspect of that quality management is that we should have a sort of contribution to the society in the form of providing the healthy products, in the form of providing the safe products, in the form of providing the environmental free products. Now of course these sort of measures will have the long-term impact. They may not have the short-term impact, but they do have long-term impact on the profitability as well as on the overall worth and creating the image of organization before the society. So this is again a very strategic impact of quality you can have in the different organizations. Next is the poor quality risks, injuries, lawsuits, recalls and regulations. Now this is again very important. If you are not quality the safe products to your customers, you may have to bear more and more cost in the form of that injuries to your customers, in the form of different lawsuits, because your customer may go to the court and you'll have to justify that why did you provide this sort of product which is not safe for your customers, and of course you'll have to bear a lot of cost, which is sometimes an unbearable cost for the organizations. So it is very important aspect of quality that you should always provide and to have these sort of measures when you are going to produce the goods and services. Then the organizations are judged by how they respond to the problems. Now it is very important that if your customers have some problems, then how quickly you respond. Now we have also discussed it in the previous lecture that this responsibility and this timely response to the customer requirements, customer complaints and the other demands is so important in creating the competitive advantage for your particular organization. Then all the stakeholders must be considered. This is again very important. If quality is not the just responsibility of the quality control department, it is the responsibility of the overall organization, overall employees, and most importantly all the departments working in the organization. So whenever we are going to discuss about the quality, we should discuss that how we can have the good comfort for all the stakeholders, and of course the customers are the most important stakeholders for the organization. Okay, let's talk about the ISO. What is ISO? That is the International Quality Standards Organization. Now these are the international organizations which helps the different organizations all over the globe in order to maintain the quality in their organizational settings. So they have defined the particular standards which the different organizations should have to be fulfilled in order to have that certification from this international organization. There are some two very important certifications that is being given by ISO. One is the ISO 9000 series, which includes the common quality standards for the products. So if you want to have been certified by that international quality standards, you'll have to fulfill all these requirements being set by this organization. Then there is another standard which is the ISO 14000 series standard. Now this standard is related to the environment related aspects of quality. In the we just discussed that there's some important responsibility before the operation managers in order to provide the safe products, in order to provide the environmental free products to our customers, so that you can have a better image before the society. So all of these environmental related standards are being defined in this that ISO 14000. Its core elements include the environmental management, that how we should conform to the different requirements so that we can have the good environment. Then there are the different auditing requirements related to that environmental standards. Then it minimizes that how their operations negatively affect the environment. So this is important. What is the purpose of all of these standards? That we want to minimize the negative effect on the overall environment. So again, that is the strategic responsibility of the quality managers and the operations managers. Okay class, today we discussed very important concepts relating to quality. We discussed about what is quality, what are the important dimensions of quality, then how the quality can be important in creating the competitive advantage for the organization. Then we discussed some very important concepts of quality, like quality control, like quality assurance, like quality management. Then again we discussed about the cost of quality, and we just have the idea that how we can have calculate the cost of quality. Then we talked about the different quality gurus, and in the last we discussed about the different international standards which are being offered by ISO, that is the International Standard Organizations, about the quality. So these are the very important aspects of quality. In the next class we will discuss about the different managing tools for the quality, that how we can use the different statistical tools, different quantitative tools, different statistical tools, then most important different graphical tools in order to maintain the quality for our products and services. So thank you very much for your patience, and have a good week ahead, and stay blessed. Thank you very much.